Choosing the right niche makes everything so much easier. You hear all the time how important YouTube titles and topics are. Well, it turns out choosing the right niche is actually far more important than that. Hey, it's Brian and Rose. I hope you see this video, Rose, because you've asked many times about really what is the best niche. And if you're a viewer, I pay attention to subscribers, viewers, people asking questions, and I do my best to respond. So today, we're really going to break down in depth everything that I know about choosing the right niche. Right now, I'll tell you, make a channel about AI because there is huge demand. And furthermore, there are so many things associated with that individual niche that'll make it easier for you to move forward and get tremendous results. But what if you're like, no way? Absolutely. That's why we really need to cover what matters the most for you. It just doesn't make sense. And, I think it's not really in your best interest to course forward and start making decisions based solely on the data alone. So I want to walk you through processes that I've used many times with some of my clients to help people move forward and identify how to make it happen. For example, Rachel, who started out, and she was in a niche, she talked about making money online, and she leveraged some of the things she's doing now, but she switched niches, and now she's driving as much as 100,000 views, I think even more than 200,000 views to some of her videos, and it just goes to show you the niche is absolutely critical. The first thing I want you to think about is it's really important that you're excited and tuned in to the topics that you're going to be creating content about. Just because, again, a niche has a lot of views, it's popping off, doesn't mean it's right. In fact, I think it's much more powerful to course forward and to really focus on a niche that you're passionate about. Now, I'm not just going to say that's the way to do it, because if there's not an audience, if there isn't a proven structure for a channel, right? If you haven't qualified the niche, I like the word qualified a lot on YouTube. I like to qualify my video titles, especially when I don't have any results. And it's important to do the same thing and to qualify the niche you decide to move forward on. So let's talk about how to make all these things happen. And by the way, let me just introduce myself. My name is Brian. It's all about YouTube. I've been dedicated to YouTube for a while now. I can't remember how I got this book on my workspace, my table, but I've been an online entrepreneur. I've got 2 published books, and I just really love sharing my journey as an online entrepreneur. So pay attention to what an audience is responding to as well. So when we talk about qualifying, what I'm going to recommend is you really get in touch with your passions, but also what you're really excited about in an authentic way. The thing I want to let you know is you do not have to be an expert at all. For example, I published a video just yesterday talking about how to make educational, there it is, how to make educational videos. And I'm thinking how to make how-to educational videos. And I recommend that you watch that video because it really highlights one specific type of video you can make in numerous niches. And furthermore, what I want to share is at the end of this video, I'm going to dive deep on a really powerful method that will dramatically increase the likelihood that you are able to move forward and make it happen. So get in touch with who you are authentically and just think about that. The second thing I want to talk about, so important, is what does success look like for you? I mean, if we don't start there, then it's hard to make the right decisions, and every little decision that you make will have a profound impact on your success on YouTube or not. For example, how important is it for you to make money? If it's important, then a lot of the decisions you make have to be based off of the fact that this is a niche where I can make money with the AdSense program, but also I've got an additional thought process for how I'm going to monetize my channel. right? Like if you're going to move forward and you just want to have fun, then you put down, I want fun, I want community, I want a lot of views, and it's a lot easier moving forward. But if not, just think about that and think, well, I need to grow an audience. This part is really key. If you want that success, no matter what it looks like, it always begins with a lot of views and more so a community of returning viewers. So having a specific niche where you focus on entirely is very, very powerful. But again, what are the steps to take? Do this. Grab a piece of paper. I'm always jotting things down. I love physical paper, a pen. I like to scribble things. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. I like that it's physically in my face, especially if I put it up on a wall or my mirror in the bathroom. I can remind myself of something. Just start jotting down a lot of different lists and topics you could cover. Now, one of the things I would say is think about what you've done professionally in the past or what you're doing now. If you're an accountant, I bet you have a really good understanding of Microsoft Word. Do you know there's like literally channels teaching how to use apps like Microsoft Word, maybe some new AI based on accounting, numbers, spreadsheets, and this could be a great niche. Maybe you're more of a chef and you could create a channel based on cooking. Now you're like, man, I hate that. I don't want to do that at all. Or maybe being a chef is something you did years ago. You know, you were a chef, you have a lot of experience. You definitely don't want to work in a professional kitchen. I understand that, having a degree from France myself in the culinary arts. But I've thought many times of creating a channel based on cooking because I love to cook and I have skills and abilities. Another thing that I really want you to value, this is far, far more important than the numbers and oh, this gets more views and the CPMs. That stuff doesn't really matter if you're in this for the long haul. And that is, think about your knowledge and ability to talk about a specific niche easily. You see, what I can do is literally this video. I was like, man, I know there's another video for me to make. I'm batching right now. I've shot, this will be my third video. But when I was getting started, just kind of getting things ready to go, I didn't have these bullet points and I wanted to make sure I could just come up with some bullet points quickly. And in less than 5 minutes, I've got enough bullet points to keep me on track for about 20 minutes going into depth, but also hopefully going through the steps. And having the experience that I have with YouTube makes it really easy for me to talk about this subject with confidence. And that's the thing I want you to think about as well, is you want to leverage something you're aware of, your understanding of, right? Does that even make sense? Stick with me, right? Like you want to leverage something you really know well so you can talk from experience, which will give you tons of confidence moving forward. But I need to warn you, it takes a while to really start feeling that confidence, because even if you've got a lot of knowledge, it does take a while to get used to the idea of filming on YouTube. Hey, if you're digging this content, do me a favor, hit the like button. It would really mean a lot to me. How can you continue to move forward with a niche, with this process of choosing a niche in a way that will allow you to win? Another thing I want to share is that you don't necessarily have to choose a niche based on what you're really knowledgeable about. For example, I chose this niche because I had made a fair amount of videos, but I knew nothing of how YouTube truly works. But I dedicated myself to that, and all I do is like, hey, it's Brian. I just did this thing. I got some interesting results. I'm just going to share in this video how I made it happen. You know, I'm just a newbie. I don't have a lot of ideas, but I did do this thing, like I recorded my screen. Let me show you how to do that. I just bought a really cheap lens. Let me explain how I did that. I created a beautiful blurry background with bokeh, And let me share how I did that as well. Now, this is really the process of moving forward and getting started based on passion only without the practical knowledge and experience. But here's what's cool is over time, you'll pick it up. Over time, you'll figure it out. And best of all, you'll get really comfortable with just sharing from your heart in a very authentic way. I'm so excited. I've started writing my third book. This one's about YouTube. It's called Built for the Viewer. And I'm just now breaking down all the things I've learned over 8 years. And this book is going to be powerful because it's really based on exactly the strategies, the tactics, what's most important. And I mention that not because it's about me, not trying to sell you on the idea of buying my book when it comes out, but on the idea of I started from zero. A channel, imagine launching a channel talking about, it's absurd, talking about how to grow a YouTube channel and you haven't done that yet. But I know some sneaky strategies, and one of the things you want to do with your niche is you don't want to narrow yourself in too narrow. You don't want to make videos just about Sony cameras, although that's probably fine because there's enough lenses, there's enough cameras, there's enough videos you could make, how-to videos, menus, lenses, new cameras coming out, etc. But you don't want to narrow yourself too much into a niche. Instead, what I think is really powerful is to think about 3 subtopics and so on in the niche you'd select, and then you can move forward and you have creativity in terms of covering a number of topics. You don't feel just stuck in this one super narrow niche. And furthermore, and this part is really powerful, is that it's going to allow you to see what viewers are connecting with more in terms of subtopics. Super powerful. Another thing you can do is ask your friends, like, hey, what am I good at? Like, what should I share on a YouTube channel? What are the things you hear me talking about or you've observed that maybe I've missed? Super, super powerful. You can also do this online. Go to a forum. Like if you know people and they know you, you can ask, hey, what am I really good at? What separates me? If you know me and so on. But, and this is important, I see a lot of people asking for feedback from other people. For me personally, I think nothing is more powerful than starting from within and just jotting things down. And what I would suggest is to do this. If you're really, really super excited about YouTube and you want to make it happen, and you pretty much know I need a specific niche, I think the more you can honor that by choosing a niche and giving yourself a deadline, the more you'll be likely to make it happen in a very big way. If that scares you, I just want to let you know there's nothing that's set in stone. You might go publish 5 or 10 videos and think, oh my God, what a waste of time. I'm going to change directions. No problem. I can't tell you how many videos I've scripted out, written out, I've come down, I've filmed, I've spent time setting things up, and then I started editing, spending literally 2 or 3 hours only to delete everything, edit the script down, and film again. A lot of people might think, what a waste. Those videos went on to drive hundreds of thousands of views. So spending a few more hours really made sense, especially when I felt this is a great big idea for my video. This is a powerful title that I know is doing well. I don't want to screw it up. Now, there's this one other thing that can really supercharge your niche regardless, and that is just understanding there are a number of title methods and video creation methods. One is like anything new. Like your niche might be tech covering cell phones. Your niche might be tech covering cameras. There's always a new cell phone, there's always a new camera, but you might be in the diet and weight loss industry. There's always a new book that viewers will be interested in. And I really encourage you to pay attention to what's new in your niche. This is a really simple way to ensure you're gonna succeed because you're paying attention to what truly matters to the viewers, right? Once you get started, you kind of want to get out of your own way and you just want to make the videos for the viewer. That's why the book that I'm working on is called Built for the Viewer. The other thing is I want to share is it doesn't matter so much the niche, but you have to understand in any niche, the viewers have wants and they have needs. You've heard about the wants all the time. They want to watch a video topic based on something they're excited about. But what exactly are the needs? The needs are your ability to create a video that keeps viewers watching, how you communicate on camera, how you really guide the viewer through your video is essential. And if you focus on doing just this, no matter if you're on camera or not, you'll be able to better facilitate a viewing experience that keeps viewers watching longer. The first way to do just that is just think, I need a beginning, a middle, and end, and in my niche, I want to practice guiding the viewer through the video. And what does that look like? What are the bullet points I'm going to cover in my individual videos? These are the things to think about. And there's one more thing, and that's this video on the screen. If you're getting less than 500 views to the videos you're publishing, click on that video, check it out, and I know it can help you to move forward. I'll see you there. You dig?